When it comes to anime, I've always been on a completely higher level than the rest. A level you would never be able to reach even if you dedicated your entire life to doing so. See, I'm the king of anime and no one other than me will ever sit on this throne. My anime knowledge, my anime taste is simply legendary and demands respect at all times. All times. So with that being said, there are so many terrible anime characters out there that make me scratch my head and say, what was this creator thinking? How can a writer be so foolish, so incompetent? They would create a character this terrible, release him to the public, and think everything is fine. Everything is all fine and dandy. It's unacceptable. And even worse, how can people be so stupid to actually be a fan of this terrible character and think this is a good character? So I decided, you know what? Let's make a list of the worst anime characters out there. This list is going to be 100% objective like all my other lists. And just know if you disagree with anything said in this video, you're a moron and not worth taking seriously in the slightest. Alright, so the first anime character we're going to start off with is Itachi. Now, Naruto has a slew of garbage characters. I mean, it was so hard to narrow it down because everywhere you look at Naruto, there's a terrible character just running around. But I felt Itachi was the worst choice because he is completely overrated garbage. He is so bland and boring. Such a trash character design. First of all, he looks terrible. His powers suck. And his backstory is a complete plot hole infested mess. I mean, first they try to build him up as some type of villain. And then they try to make him this savior type of character that did everything he did to protect. It's just so stupid. And people suck this character off like he is really good. Like he is really a dope character. The most overrated trash character in the series by far. Make him a villain at first, then just switch it up and decide to make him a hero, a martyr. What a joke. Imagine being a fan of such a poorly written character. That could never be me. Next character is Levi Ackerman from Attack on Garbage. Talk about an emo loser. This character sucks. They try to make him so cool, so dark and serious and mysterious. He's so cool. He's so awesome. All the Levi fangirls come out the woodwork. Just going crazy over this terrible character when he just is nothing but a ripoff of Phaeton from Hunter x Hunter. Same exact design, same exact personality, everything, except nowhere near as detailed or in-depth as Phaeton is. Just a terrible ripoff. This dude Levi has no depth, a boring personality, wins all of his fights due to plot armor. He gets absolutely no development anywhere in the series. I mean, how can anyone who isn't a moron actually like this trash character? He is poorly written in every single way. Next character is Yusuke Yuriameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, Yu Yu Hakusho is complete trash and has some of the worst characters out there, but none are as bad as the main character himself, one of the most boring, bland main characters in shonen. These Yu Yu Hakusho fanboys have the nerve to call Gon from Hunter x Hunter boring and bland, yet suck off Yusuke like he's actually good. This character is terrible. He's terribly written. I mean, he's a typical delinquent, acts out for attention. Then you see his personal life and they try to make you feel bad for him and like he doesn't have a good life at home. And then at the end of the series, he continues to just completely just destroy everything, become overpowered in every way. It's just, what is this character? He gets no character development throughout the whole series, has a bunch of ass-full powers, and it's just an all-around failure. Yusuke is trash. Next up is Spike from Cowboy Bebop. Now, Cowboy Bebop as a whole is trash, and when it comes to trash characters, Spike is at the top of his game. A boring, goofy, but wannabe, I'm still cool failure type of character with a backstory that completely comes out of nowhere and makes no sense. It's just one episode, he just has this backstory, and the story is so ridiculous when it comes to his backstory. It makes no sense. The character gets no character development. He has nothing unique about him or interesting about him. I guess they thought, hey, let's give him a cigarette. That'll make him cool, right? Wrong. Next up is Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Now, when it comes to garbage, edgy characters, Ken Kaneki defies all logic. I mean, this is one of the worst characters of all time. First, he starts off as a timid, cowardly character. Then he gets tortured and then turns insane over and over again throughout the series. He just keeps snapping over and over again, becomes even more insane. And the fanboys and the edgy edgelords think that that's badass, think that that's character development. is nothing badass about Ken Kaneki. This character is a joke. He's not even close to being badass. You know, they treat him like the chosen one, where he's just the one that's going to save everybody, just a typical shonen. He's nothing but a ripoff of Shinichi from Parasite, and Tokyo Ghoul as a whole is nothing but a boring Parasite ripoff. Next up is Lelouch from Code Geass. Oh my god. It's just like, if you want a character that's trying to be Light Yagami from Death Note so bad, look no further than Lelouch. This character sucks. He doesn't even come close to Light Yagami, and I'm not even a Light Yagami fan. I'm not even a Death Note fan. Death Note is trash. But you can tell what they were trying to do with this character. Let's make this highly intellectual, one step ahead of everybody, genius, but let's make him even worse than the person that we're trying to copy. I mean, this character just had so many things he was doing that was unbelievable. His character design is horrible. He looks like a stick figure. He's just tall and lanky for no reason. His design sucks. His intellect is not good, and they just try so hard to make you like this character. They try so hard to make this character seem cool, but there's nothing cool about him. I was clapping at the end of the series when he died, but of course, because they want to milk it, they tried to leave it like an open-ended where do we know if he's dead? Do we not know if he's dead? It's pathetic. Everything about Code Geass is pathetic. Trying to give him these rip-off Uchiha eye powers and stuff. I mean, come on, get original. Next up is L from Death Note. If you want to see a wannabe Batman in anime form, look no further than this guy. This genius detective. He can solve so many cases. No one knows him though. He's mysterious, but he's really smart. He's one step ahead of the game. He knows how to do this. He knows how to do that. If he was so far ahead of the game, why did he get clapped? Why did he get killed the way he did? Oh yeah, because he wasn't ahead of his game. He didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't a genius detective. He was a fraud in every single way. Look at the character design. Why did they think to give this dude just beady eyes and a blank stare on his face all the time? What were they thinking with this design? There was nothing good about L, and I'm tired of people acting like this character is awesome. Tired of people acting like the series went to hell because he died. It was better when he died, but Death Note as a whole was always trash, so it just seemed like it went to hell when he died, but it was always trash. Death Note sucks. Next up is Ichigo from Bleach. If you want to see a writer that has no idea what he's doing, look no further than Tite Kubo. I mean, this guy can't write himself out of a corner to save his life. If his life was on the line and all he needed to do was come up with a compelling character, a well-written character, he might as well just accept fate, because it's not going to happen. Bleach is oh my god, it had so many terrible characters, but it doesn't get worse than Ichigo. Ichigo, let's make him a Quincy. Let's make him a Hollow. Let's make him this. Let's make him that. It's a damn bargain bin when it comes to powers for Ichigo. Every time you see the loser, he has another power-up. It's insane. Terrible. He's a ginger. He has this orange hair. Just makes no sense. Boring as hell. All he wants to do, I just want to protect my friends. He has no goals. This character is nothing but overpowered garbage. There is nothing remotely interesting about Ichigo. He gets beat, cries. Gets beat, cries. Trains, becomes overpowered, gets beat, cries. That's all he does. Terrible character. Next up is Kirito from Sword Art Online. I shouldn't even have to put this character on this list because people should know just how bad not only Sword Art Online is as a whole, but Kirito is. But can you actually believe that there are people out there that think Kirito is cool? Kirito is a good character? How dare they call Kirito the Black Swordsman, absolutely disrespecting the true Black Swordsman, which is Guts. Calling him the Black Swordsman, this overpowered loser? Oh my god, he has one of the most generic, and I mean generic, character designs out there. He's boring as hell. They tried to make him so cool in his own series, but he fails in every single way. All the girls want him. All the girls think he's cool. He has the cool swords. He has the cool outfits. This character is terrible, and everything about Sword Art Online is terrible. If you are a fan of Sword Art Online, let alone this character, you do not deserve to watch anime ever again. Kirito is bottom of the barrel filth. Next up is Ace from One Piece. Now, when it comes to overrated characters, One Piece has a lot of them, but I swear, I see all the time people acting like Ace was a good character, acting like Ace was so cool, he had the fire powers, he was so cool, he died for his brother. No, he died because he was weak, and he died because he was a terrible character. Oda knew what time it was, like, let's just get this trash character up out of here, he's terrible. But still to this day, people should have moved on. Still to this day, I see people running around with profile pics of Ace, you know, saying Ace is so cool, Ace is one of my favorite characters. Ace was a terrible character in every single category. He had a horrible design, his powers were trash, okay, he had no development. He just was a worthless character, which is why, again, Oda threw him to the side to be killed. There was nothing cool about Ace. One Piece has a slew, just like Naruto, of terrible characters. I could have picked anyone, but Ace is a horrible character, and he deserved to be on this list. Next character is Kamina from Gurren Lagann. Oh my god, Kamina was just such an annoying character. I'm gonna pierce the heavens! Our drill... No, stop it. He was horrible. He was so annoying. Every character in this series doesn't compare to how annoying Kamina was. Every time you looked up, every time he was in a scene, I wanted to pull my hair out. It was like nails on a chalkboard just hearing his voice. And again, this is another series that has so many terrible characters that you could honestly pick anyone, but Kamina was just such a bad character. He tried to be the cool big bro type, that failed, and he's another character that the creator knew he was trash, which is why he got killed later in the series. He was just a terrible character in every way. Like, oh my god, the joy, the tears of joy flowed when he finally got killed, and I didn't have to hear his annoying voice, see his annoying antics on screen anymore. Gurren Lagann is such a failure, bro. Next up, we have Todoroki from My Hero Academia, aka the Prince Zuko ripoff. Oh my god, like, what is up with all these shonen just ripping off better series? Listen, My Hero Academia, you will never be able to compare to Avatar The Last Airbender, no matter how much you try. They try to give him this tragic backstory, this mysterious demeanor about him. This is nothing but Prince Zuko at its finest. But not at its finest, I mean, at its worst, because the way they tried to copy this character but just failed in every single way is just laughable. Give him the fire power, but then we're going to give him ice power. We're going to make it so where he's just so cool and he's just so awesome. But they fail. Bro, My Hero Academia is trash. You will never be able to touch the greatness of Avatar. Stop ripping off characters. Okay, Todoroki is trash. Next up, we have Roy Mustang. This character is just like Spike, the character that's goofy and laid back and then tries to have little badass moments here and there that's supposed to make people say, wow, he's goofy most of the time, but when he goes badass, he is so cool. No, Roy Mustang is terribly written. He's boring. He lacks any depth. He has no personality whatsoever, except for this try hard, I want to be funny, I want to be goofy, I want to have Hawkeye do all the work for me, but then there's going to be key moments where I'm going to go badass and I'm going to do something cool, like I'm going to kill Envy, and it's going to be so cool. It was the lamest fight I've ever seen. This dude literally just held out a lighter over and over again and burned her. And people go crazy over that scene like it's just so cool. There was nothing cool about it. There was nothing cool about it. Roy Mustang sucks. Hell, I'll take Hawkeye over Roy Mustang. He's that boring of a character. There's nothing special about Roy. Next up, we have Yuno Gossip from the horrible anime Future Diary. I mean, I don't know what it is about this character that makes people say, oh my gosh, she's so cool. I guess people are weirdos and just like crazy chicks. But even when it comes to crazy chicks, I've seen way better characters that are crazy than this character. This character is just so out there and makes no sense. She defends the main character over and over again because he's a sissy and a wimp. He can't do anything. So she goes around just being stalkerish all the time. Goes around being a yandere over and over again and just has no depth to her. There's nothing remotely interesting about this character other than the fact that she's insane. That's the only reason people like this character, because she's insane. She has nothing else going for her. It's just, I guess it's fun to watch somebody be crazy, but there's nothing. What is it about this character other than that? What does she bring to the table? Absolutely nothing. Terrible character. Next up, we have Gojo from the terrible anime Jujutsu Kaisen, a pathetic attempt at recreating Kakashi from Naruto. Has the same white hair, wears the same mask, has the same sensei type of feeling for his students. I mean, come on. Can these creators at least try to hide it a little bit that they're ripping off characters? Try to make us guess a little bit. This is a one-for-one ripoff. Oh my god. And are people calling it out? No, they're not, because they don't care. These shonen fanboys don't care. They will recycle the same things, and these shonen fanboys will eat it all up because they just don't know any better. They don't want to know any better. And as bad as Kakashi is, I'd take him over this clown any day. I mean, not much more to say about this character other than everything that is wrong with Kakashi from Naruto, amplify it times 100 and you have this character. Pathetic. Next up is Alucard from Hellsing. Oh man, when it comes to overrated characters, it doesn't get much more overrated than Alucard. This character is so lame. People think he's so cool and so badass. How? Because he can't die? He just gets shot over and over again, gets destroyed over and over again, and can't die and comes back and kills people? That's so cool. That's so awesome. There is nothing cool about Alucard. Now, Hellsing as a whole is decent at best. I like it for the other characters in the series. I like it because of the violence, but I don't like Alucard. I hate this character in every single way. He sucks. He almost makes the series unreadable, not enjoyable because of how bad he is of a character. I mean, whew, you're lucky that you had other characters to pull the weight, because if it wasn't and you just had this character and that was the only character in the series, I'd never go anywhere near this trash. Alucard is horrible. Next character is Nezuko from Demon Slayer, a completely horrible character whose only purpose is just to be cute and be there in the background. That's her only purpose, is just to be there. She is so useless. It's ridiculous. Does absolutely nothing the entire series but sleep all day, and should have been turned into a demon and killed with the rest of his family, yet was saved miraculously because shonen. I mean, come on. This is so generic. I mean, all this fan art, all this love for this character by these weird weaves, and it's just like, what does this character do other than just sit there and make grunting noises, sleep all day, and just look adorable? Nothing. But that's all it takes. That's all it takes for a character to be popular. Just look cute, just do nothing, and just you will be completely and utterly popular. Oh my god, terrible character. Next up, we got Saitama from One Punch Man, aka the generic Goku ripoff. I mean, this whole anime is complete and utter garbage. It's terrible. Let's just try to take this character, make it a parody. Let's make it funny. There's nothing funny about it. I didn't chuckle. I didn't laugh one time watching this anime. There's nothing funny about Saitama. Oh, let's make him super overpowered to where he one-shots everything. Let's give him funny faces. Not funny. Only a child would think this is funny. And even then it's questionable, because there's nothing funny about this at all. Saitama is a terrible character. He has no personality. He has these stupid blank stares on his face all the time. There's nothing interesting about this character, and there's nothing interesting about One Punch Man as a whole. Next character is Gintoki from Gintama. Gintama is terrible, man. It's nothing but a boring parody that tries to get serious, and then the fanboys want to act like it's doing something cool when it's not. And nothing is worse than this main character. He is so annoying. Every scene that he's in is just like nails on a chalkboard. It just feels like the soul is being slowly sucked out of you. Just watching him run around and do a bunch of boring, tedious things drives me crazy. And that is why I dropped this terrible anime almost immediately. This character is horrible all throughout the series, and they'll defend his lack of depth, lack of character development, and everything in between, saying it's just a parody, it's not supposed to be taken seriously. No, even I've seen better parodies that actually have character development, actually have depth to their characters, and this is not one of them. This is a terrible character, and every character in Gintama sucks. And lastly, I couldn't decide, so I decided to just include every character in JoJo. JoJo is by far the most garbage series, one of the most garbage series to ever exist, and I was having a hell of a time picking a character and narrowing it down, so I just decided, you know what, let's throw every character in JoJo on this list. This is just a series that has terrible character one after one after one after one after one, and it's just ridiculous. There's so many plot holes. Every character gets no development. Every character has no depth. They have nothing going for themselves. This is just how you know you are not competent as a writer, if you're able to create characters this bad. There is not one saving grace when it comes to characters in JoJo. They all suck. They all do the same thing. It's like cardboard cutouts. He just keeps making the same character over and over again. So there you have it. These are the top 20 worst anime characters of all time. I could have included way more anime characters on this list. That's just how many bad characters there are out there. But I didn't want this video to be super long. It's already long as it is. So I decided let's just limit it to 20. So here you have it. Again, you disagree with this video, that just proves you're not on a higher level of thinking like I am. And I'm just going to sit back and laugh at you. So with that being said, I'm out. And if you like any of the characters on this list, just stop watching anime, man. You're doing nothing but embarrassing yourself.